on indulgence. The Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Well, just quickly, I thank the Prime Minister for his call earlier before question time to advise that he would be making a statement and to lend support to the Prime Minister's very sage advice to those Australians to listen to the DFAT advice, to monitor it. The situation can move fluidly, and in these situations to take early action that's in your best interest and your family's best interest is absolutely crucial, and we lend our support to the government's call in that regard.
We shall move to questions without notice, and I give the call to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, over the last 2 years, this government will bring in people. My questions to the Prime Minister. Mr Speaker, over the last 2 years, the Albanese government has brought in almost 1 million people into our country. Only 265,000 homes have been built. In fact, building activity is at an 11-year low. We have people who are living in cars and tents at a record level, and yet nothing in this budget provides support to those people. At the same time, the Prime Minister is giving billions of dollars to billionaires. Prime Minister, why does this government have the wrong priorities, and why is this Prime Minister so weak that he can't provide support to Australians in need?
Order. Order. Members on my right, the Minister for Home Affairs will cease interjecting. So the Prime Minister has the call.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. Well, the only thing that is broader than our support for cost of living relief is that question from the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Speaker, because it was all over the shop. The first issue of migration, the population statement of 2023 says this. For 2030-31, the expected population is 600,000 people below what was projected prior to the onset of the pandemic in 2019-2020. And guess who championed the higher migration intake? See if you can guess who said this. We do need an increase in the migration numbers. It's clear the number needs to be higher. That's the Leader of the Opposition. And indeed, in his first budget reply, he said, I brought in record numbers of people from India, China and many other countries. They were out there all promoting not just him, but the you know it's coming, don't you? You know it's coming. Help us spread the word about studying here to help us overtake the UK as the world's second most popular study destination. That was the member for Wannon. The deputy leader. We know that urgently business needs a workforce, and much of that workforce needs to come from overseas. And we know that they left an absolute mess when it came to migration, because Dr. Martin Parkinson, the person appointed by the coalition to be head of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet.
Order. The Prime Minister reports the member for Deakin will cease having a conversation. Interjections are okay, but order. Order. Having a conversation and interjecting, both. Just so I'm clear. The Prime Minister in continuation.
Dr. Parkinson's in his report said this is a 10-year rebuild. This is not something you do quickly because it is so badly broken. It was a deliberate decision to neglect the system. And the Leader of the National Party, of course, also had to say this, because I don't want to leave the Nats out. We've got to acknowledge some of the challenges that we left behind. You've got to put your hand up. You've got to be honest with people. That is what he had to say about the migration mess that was left behind. Mr Speaker,
order.
They then go on.
Order. The Leader of the Nationals will cease interjecting.
To speak about the centrepiece of our budget last night that they just referred to is, of course, our tax cuts for every taxpayer. A tax cut for every taxpayer.
Order. The Prime Minister's time has
Something that this
concluded.
bloke
Prime Minister's time has concluded.